What's up? Welcome to my channel. My name is Donna Clarkson. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I make vegan pastelitos. I'm going to make two types. I'm going to make the picadillo one, but meatless, and I'm also going to make the guava and cheese one. All right, let's get right into it. Here are the ingredients. We have meatless crumbles, onions, red bell peppers, cilantro, olives, sofrito, garlic, tomato sauce, and for a little bit of heat, I like to add habanero pepper. Okay, I have everything chopped except for the habanero, and I have gloves on because it is very hot, and if you get it on your hands, it will be bad. All right, so I'm taking out the seeds, some of the seeds. I want a lot more of the flavor of the habanero than the actual heat of it. Just a little bit of heat, but mainly the flavor. So I'll keep some seeds in it.
Mince the habanero pepper and the garlic. Chop up the olives. Now that the picadillo, the meatless filling, is done, we're going to take our vegan puff pastry. Make sure that you thaw it out according to the box directions. You want it to still be cold, but not frozen. Make sure that you flour whatever mat or countertop you're going to roll it on, and also flour the rolling pin so it won't stick to it. You can add a little bit more flour if it starts sticking to the rolling pin. As you roll, make sure that you roll out a little bit. You don't want it too flat. You want it to still puff up nicely in the oven. Now that it's all rolled out, I'm going to use a cup. You can use a cup or a biscuit cutter. Put some flour on it. This cup is not sharp enough, so I'm going to go ahead and press down even harder to cut out the circles. Space out the circles so that you can maximize the use of the pastry sheet to make as many circles as you can. You can use the remainder of the pastry by rolling it out. I was able to get 2 more circles from the remainder and continue the process. Now we have an even amount of circles. Remember, you can reuse the remainder pastry. It's time now to add the picadillo, the meatless filling, into the circle. I like to add a couple of spoonfuls to it. Just make sure that the edges are free so that you can seal it. Add a little bit of water so that you can seal the edges better. Add the top of the pastry and press down. If needed, you can add some more water if you need help sealing it. You can leave it like this or press down the edges with a fork. What I noticed after baking was the ones with the fork actually opened up more, and the ones where I just sealed it and didn't add the fork actually sealed better. All right, so now you will continue the process. They are all sealed, so I am going to brush them with an eggless wash. I use just egg. You can buy just egg at most grocery stores. You can find it near the egg section. Brush it lightly to get a golden crust. Poke a hole into each pastelito with a toothpick 2 to 3 times to allow steam to escape while baking. Now, if you don't have just egg, you can use any plant milk and some agave or maple syrup to make a wash. The recipe will be in the description box. Put it in a 400-degree oven for about 20 to 25 minutes or until golden brown. You want to make sure it's fully cooked inside. You don't want to have raw pastry inside. While the pastelitos are cooking, we want to make a simple syrup. You're going to combine the sugar, about a quarter cup, and a quarter cup of water in a saucepan. Cook over medium heat until the sugar is completely dissolved. Remove from the heat and cool completely. Now we're going to take them out of the oven. They are nice and golden brown. As you can see, the ones with the fork edges opened up a bit, and the ones without the fork edges actually sealed better. It's time to add the simple syrup. Brush as much as you want or as less as you want on top of the pastelito. It gives it a really nice shine and it adds a little bit of sweetness to it. Time to make the guava and cheese pastelitos. We're going to start by slicing the guava into rectangular strips. You can find guava paste at most grocery stores in the international food row by the Latino food section. Now it's time to add sugar to the vegan cream cheese. You don't have to add sugar if you don't want to. The guava has enough sweetness if you prefer not to add the sugar. I added 2 tablespoons and now I'm going to mix it. It's time to put it all together. We're going to start again by adding flour to our board or our mat or our countertop. And we're going to take out the vegan puff pastry. Make sure again that you keep the pastry after you thaw it out in the refrigerator until you're ready to use. You want the pastry to still be cold before you put it in the oven. It will give you a flakier crust when it is cold. Now we're going to cut the pastry. Try to make it as even as you can. Going to slice it into rectangles. I'm going to get about 6 rectangles. I tried to make them as even as I could because I'm going to use the bottom pastries to put on top of the top pastries. Now I'm going to spread the cream cheese mixture on the top 3 rectangles. You can add as little or as much as you like. Just make sure that the edges are free so that you can seal them. Now we're going to add the guava strips. I put about 3 strips to each rectangle. You can put more, you can put less. It's time to seal the edges. Add the water to the edges. As you can see, I put too much filling into it, so I hardly have any edges, but that's okay. I'm going to add some more water to the top pastry and seal it from there. Time to seal the pastry. You can use the bottom pastry, put it on top, and the same process. You're going to pinch the edges, use a little bit more water if needed, but make sure that the edges are completely sealed. I'm not going to use the fork to press down. As we saw before with the other pastelitos, it didn't work that well. So I'm just going to leave it like this and continue the process. I decided to cut each rectangle in half to make 6 pastelitos. If you're going to do that, just make sure that you seal all the edges again with a little bit of water. We're going to lightly score the tops of the pastries with a knife to allow steam to escape while baking. I just put 2 slits into each one. It's time to brush the eggless wash on top of each pastelito. Another idea is that you can sprinkle sugar on top of the eggless wash. Some people like to do that to add a little bit more sweetness to it and a crunchier pastry. I decided not to. When done, put it in a 400-degree oven for about 20 to 25 minutes or until golden brown. Oh yeah, these are nice and golden brown and ooey gooey. Now you just top it off with the simple syrup, as little as you want or as much as you want. This is the finished product. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Thank you for continuing to rock with me. Bye!